You're not supposed to. I did it
There
wrong.
you go.
I did it wrong.
You did it. No, you did it right.
I did it wrong. I said 3, 2, 1 yesterday.
Oh, you did.
I didn't give you the
anything.
silent count in for the audio to be right. I said
didn't
3, 2, 1.
I didn't say anything because I was in the zone. How we doing, everybody?
How are you doing, Chris?
Cats, I'm good.
Did you survive
I'll be
your?
honest.
Did you survive your first non-metallic metal? You
Yeah,
didn't go home and like cry or anything.
No, I learned a lot. I'm very tired today, but I learned a lot. So I hope everybody else did as well, and I think you all did. If I had to be a betting man, I think people got a lot of benefit out of it. I really took away a lot of the glazing tips you were giving me yesterday. That was a big a big one. I'm like, you know what? I just don't ever practice this.
Yep.
Like I need to practice it on Texture Trainer. To be honest, it's just not it's something I don't practice, and I'm like, okay, if I practice this a little bit, it was a little bit more intentional with my time with it, I think I'd get better.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. It's just repetition.
Yeah.
Right. It's repetition and seeing how it acts, which some of that will feel bad, some of it will feel like mistakes.
Yeah.
Along the way, but that's the only way you can course correct.
Right.
Right. You don't know to change course until the way that you're doing it doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
So hi, chat.
Avian, it was yesterday, Avian. Uh-oh. It was your day at work. That's okay. It's over on YouTube.
It's on the YouTubes.
What's going on, everybody? We got Brent, That Chai Cat, Lumberjack, Marsh, Avian, Sarcastic Grandpa, Wirehead, Wolfen, M3 Stout, Plum Crunchy, Red Fay. What's going on? We're painting Green Army Men. We are doing our challenge, and by we, I mean Jason. And Jason is taking the time to clean up mold lines.
Yeah. They're bad.
Are they?
Oh, they're bad. Yeah,
so
bad.
you're telling me your dollar store bag of Green Army Men didn't have perfect seam lines?
I have already sent a complaint into the manufacturer.
We the people. That's right, Lumberjack. Saved on YouTube. That was an amazing stream. Hey, thank you guys so much. We had a good time.
I have already sent my complaint into the manufacturer.
Oh, you did?
Oh yeah. I'm not going to let him get away with this shoddy workmanship.
What did your complaint say?
What did my complaint say?
Yeah.
I was like, you call yourselves model makers?
I was just about to say.
Just straight out of the gates.
Where do you get off?
Just straight out of the gates, I said, you think you're something you don't market yourself as? Let me give you my negative feedback.
Papa Chicken, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Wirehead says, I want my 4 cents per mini worth. That's right.
I know, right?
So
I demand a refund of 4 cents.
Jason,
this guy came without a leg.
I noticed you were just using the back of your hobby knife.
Oh, yeah.
Why? Or I guess why not is the real question.
So on a miniature like this,
oh, you could just cut it.
The seam scraper doesn't work as well because this is that PVC rubbery plastic.
Right.
So it bends a lot, and if you use a seam scraper, it tends to pill up. By pill up, I mean that as you scrape it, it just turns into balls of plastic. It doesn't actually scrape it off.
Right.
So you're noticing that I'm going through and using the bladed edge to cut the flash or the mold line down flat.
Yeah.
And then I'll just smooth it out with the backside because it's quick.
Gotcha.
Right. A lot of times when I'm moving really fast and doing simple mold line cleaning on even hard plastic models, I'll do the same thing because it just causes that ridge to flatten out real quick rather than grabbing the seam scraper, unless it has really clean mold lines, at which point I just use the seam scraper the whole time.
Right.
On ones where I have to like cut a bunch of nibs or, stuff like that. It's funny because like the Conquest models, I do half of them this way, the old plastics, and half of them with the seam scraper because the new plastics are freaking fantastic.
Right. Hopefully you're all participating in our Discord challenge.
What? They can participate? Other people get to paint Army Men?
I think so.
What?
I think so.
What?
Back of a blade is like the business side of a hockey skate blade and scrapes with a mofo without digging into the plastic, says Wirehead.
Yeah. Yeah, because hockey skate blades are not blades the way you would think of them. They're sharp on the sides, but they're flat in the middle.
Yeah, interesting.
So you have your blade edge is sharp. And that's kind of what the back of the knife is like. Whereas the front of the knife comes to a knife, a knife edge, obviously.
Yeah.
The back is sharp on the sides because it's metal. but blunt in the middle, so it gives you the ability to use it more as a scraping tool. But it doesn't work as well as a seam scraper for if you're just going to go after a seam, unless it's a really hard plastic. If it's really hard plastic, then the knife can do it, but it tends to deform the surface quicker.
Yeah.
So, got to be careful with it.
Yeah, I mean, even with scraping this guy, I feel like you kind of, like, one little wrong step and you can just lop off a hand. But I guess if you did that, you got many more.
I have 500 of them. Well, I think there's only 50 in the package I bought. But yes, you get a lot. You get more than you need. I went through and I dug out the ones that I thought were the best looking for the models I'm doing too. So that says a lot. We'll start with just one. So I'm not going to scrape all three of these today.
Papa Chicken says, I was not.
Hey, Chris?
What's that? Oh, I missed my opportunity yesterday.
You didn't do the Papa Chicken, so I'm doing it for you.
I was so focused.
He was focused, Chad.
I was. Papa Chicken says, I was going to participate this month, but just had an amazing idea with a... Oh, you weren't going to participate, but you had an amazing idea with a paratrooper armament. I may have to dive into this.
I've seen some really cool ones. I have to admit, Chad, I've been cheating and looking at everybody's Army Men. I didn't see anybody put paint on them yet, but I was just going back and reminiscing because some people found the really good ones that I remember from my childhood. I think one of them, though, was like a post that somebody found on Google and said, I hope I can find this in my mom's basement or something.
Yeah.
Because somebody posted one that I'm like, yes, I remember that guy. That was like one of my favorite guys out of the whole Army Man pack. And I was like, when I was looking on Amazon, I couldn't find those, right? I couldn't find what I remember as being the good ones. This was as close as I could get. These had some of the poses in it, but none of them had all of them. Like my set when I was a kid had the two what we call medics, carrying the dude on the stretcher.
Oh,
right. The two dudes had their hands were like this, and the stretcher was just sticks with a bed in the middle with a dude that you could put on top of it.
Yeah.
So it's 4 pieces. And you had the guy in the front with the hand. Maybe the two guys carrying the stretcher were the same mold. And you took 2 of those and you put the stretcher in between them. It slid into the holes in their hands. Yeah. And then you put the guy on the stretcher. So I remember this because the action part of the figures was more action. Like you actually had stuff that you could do. I mean, not that they moved, but yeah. So there were some really cool ones, right?
There were cool ones. You know what's going to be interesting? I'm very excited to see how you do this guy's face.
His face is actually really good.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I've been trying to get my dad...
This is why I like this guy, because the mold line doesn't go across the face, whereas the other guys that look off to the side, the mold line goes right down the nose. So these faces are always really deformed because the mold slippage. Yeah. So the guys that look to the side suck, but the guys that look forward are actually pretty good. So we'll start with him because he'll look a lot better.
Player Jiff says, my wife is on the wait list for Jason's seminar at Adepticon. If we promise to do a testimonial for the hobby products, can we sneak a seat in the seminar?
Yes, but we've said yes, you can as long as there's space. Yeah, you have to have your own Namor model.
Yeah.
So the only problem is we only have enough models for those that registered, but we're doing the Prince Namor model, or if you just bring a model that is mostly skin, right? Not like some naked craziness. But like a Viking or something, or a warrior, a barbarian with just a lot of flesh on it would also work because you'll be able to do the concepts. It just won't translate, 100% because the shape won't be the same. Yeah. But yeah, I don't have a problem with that. It's just really going to be a matter of not interfering with other people there. I'm not going to move people that were registered, like out of the way or, make them sit with way too many people to a table. But if we have space in the room, which there should be, then yeah, you're more than welcome to come sit in it. That is definitely first come, first serve. We make no promises.
Yeah, the Chai Cat says, I meant to ask yesterday, do you have any videos that explain how to decide where the highlights go on non-metallic metal? I struggle to figure out how to bounce the light from the source to the viewing angle. I don't think we have specific
every video that we do does that, but doesn't, and it talks about it, but not in like a one that's specifically about here. Let's figure out how to place light. And the reason why, and this is a thought of reason why we don't do this, is because what we would really need to do is a video that talks about one direction of light across many shapes.
Yeah.
Because if I just show you on one shape, it doesn't translate to every other shape.
Yeah.
Right? So it's hard to do a video that gives you the whole story because you have to be like, okay, today we're painting Space Marine shoulder pads, which reflect light completely different than this guy.
Right.
So it's a little bit tough. Or like the model that Chris painted yesterday. The shapes always define the light.
Yeah.
Right? While the light defines the shape defines how the light reflects, I guess is the way to say that. And so it's a little rough to do a video like that because I could go through all the shapes. That's why I say a lot in the videos or here on the stream is that one of the best ways to do this is to go and Google metal sphere, metal cube, metal cone, metal rod, metal cylinder, metal pyramid, right? And then start learning how to divide the model you're painting down into those core shapes, because then you'll always have the reference. And sometimes it just is that you have a complex shape that has like, one surface is like the side of facet of a rectangle, while the other one is part of a sphere, right? And so you have to learn how to, judge the shape for what part of it is doing what, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's the hardest thing. That is the single hardest part about painting reflective surfaces, is getting the understanding of how each shape reflects light. Because a cylinder reflects light completely different than a sphere. Yeah. In terms of how you paint the shape of light on it, which is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
They reflect it the same. I mean, it's shiny surface reflects light.
It's just all different.
The shape of it determines which direction the light travels once it bounces off the shape.
Right.
Right. Now, if you're good at geometry, a lot of people can figure that out because they can just determine the ray of light hitting the surface of an object and where it would bounce off to. Because the angle of reflection and the angle of incidence, right, are the same. So if you can think in terms of geometry, then that can become simpler for you if you're good at math.
Hey, Hexpaint, thank you so much for that sub. Burberry says, what actually happens if I call the Hobby Nerd Protection Society number?
Well, you should do it and find out.
And I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. We take that very seriously. There's a lot of you out there suffering, and we're here to help. So give it a call. Pistol Whip says, I just got a question. I just got a good at painting where it needs to go, in quotes. You just got good at it. Okay, put cool. Paint where it needs to go.
Yep, sure. Just get inside the lines and don't get out. That's great.
What's next? I don't know where to start next or what to start next. Layering, question mark?
I think the next thing is starting to get your shade and highlight balance done. Is that part of where you're saying you're already getting good at? Is that, usually the thing is once you start feeling comfortable with putting paint on the model, getting it to go where you expect it to go, and having all that work, the next step for me is starting to build contrast on the model.
Yeah.
Starting to get shadows in the shadows and have those shadows blend up into midtones and then midtones blend into highlights. That's your next step, because volume on the model, we talk in terms of value and volume, that's the storytelling aspect. That's where the model starts to look better, right? So you can paint a model a flat color. It can be blue, but as soon as you add a dark blue in the shadows and a bright blue along an edge, it comes to life. It starts to feel like it occupies real space in a real world. And no matter how fantasy that world is.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing that we talk about here most of the time, is that storytelling element that is based off of values and volumes. That's the next spot we start talking about. Start bringing in your highlights, bringing in your shadows, and being able to blend between the two so you get nice transitions between dark and light on the model. That guy's pretty clean now. I think that guy's paintable. All right. We're priming Army Man.
With this kind of material, do you have to be worried about priming it, or is it just kind of the same thing?
No, primer will work on all plastics.
Yeah.
So it's not a big deal there. The model is flexible, so if you were going to, if you were planning on trying to bend him in half and stuff after you prime, the primer might crack and break off.
They're so flexible compared to what
they are kind of. I mean, it's not super bad, right? No, the tip of this gun is kind of weird because it's so skinny, but the rest of him is just like hard plastic. These are no different really than GW, except they are a little more bendy.
Yeah.
But they're not going to bend in half like rubber.
Well, you're not going to be really handling it like that.
No. No, we'll put him on a handle here too.
What's going on, Mo?
Mo?
We know a Mo. Right there. If you're all unaware, we do have a challenge going on right now in our Discord. And it's the February challenge. It's painting up Green Army Men. So Jason is going to participate. Avian says, question, not going to say serious question or joke question, just a question. Also for chat. Any tips on how to stop hobby ADHD? Wow.
No. I am not the right person to ask. I'm going to be very upfront about this. I'm not your Huckleberry.
I'm so sorry, Avian. You have found the wrong channel for that.
He can just count the amount of boxes of Conquest models sitting around here, and you know that we are not the place to discuss this.
We'll get to it.
Oh, we will.
The
funniest thing is Ellie, our finance director, says, hey, can I grab a minute of your time? And I'm like, sure, what do you got? She goes, well, I just have some charges this month that I don't know how to direct in the expense charts.
You don't know
and
how
I'm
to
like,
direct in the expense.
Oh, this is a make Jason feel bad for buying so many models conversation, isn't it? And I go into her office and she shows me the big spreadsheet of all the expenses for the month. And it's all the normal business expenses. And there's a huge block of them that are
from
eBay.
Yeah, you got
eBay and Venmo, which the company doesn't do, right? And except in rare instances. And so I'm like, yeah, those are models for the studio, models for the stream. That's a marketing expense.
They technically are.
I mean, they are. That's the thing, is that we're not doing anything untoward, but it's just, you just don't normally see them in a huge block, like with me buying all these Conquest models.
Jason had
so if you're out there, Conquest guys and gals, I paid your salary this last month.
Shout out to Parabellum. They were a part of the
Shout out to Parabellum.
They were a part of the giveaway.
We actually didn't pay their salary because we bought a lot of stuff used.
But you got a lot of new stuff though.
Oh, we did. Yeah, we bought a bunch of stuff. We bought a bunch of stuff directly from them. The first stuff I ordered came directly from them because they were doing the Black Friday end of year big hobby thing that I mentioned on stream, which was really awesome, where you could buy like a 2,000 point army for $500.
Yeah,
silly.
It was a great
silly.
It's a great deal.
So of course we have a lot of armies now.
Hexpaint
Who
says,
knew?
Could you ever consider releasing a line of oils? I dream of an oil paint made for miniatures, self-leveling, fine pigments, etc.
I won't say never, but it's not in the cards right now. Oil paints are something that I'm not a big fan of on miniatures, mainly because they give a false sense of security to some extent with how blending works. Not in a negative way necessarily, but kind of. And that people can get, they blend very easy, but blending oils is very different than blending acrylics. And I don't feel like you're going to stay in the oil world forever on miniatures. If you are, then yeah, I mean, eventually I can see us making oil paints. It's just not in the cards right now. We have to get through the can we do a water-based oil that is as good as a solvent or as close to as good as a solvent-based oil, so that you could clean it up without heavy solvents, right? That would be my goal there, and I don't know that that's possible. Well, we're playing with it, so we'll see. But it's not in the near future. All right. Time to prime.
So you're priming him.
We're priming him.
You guess you just said that.
Because that's what it just said.
That's what you just said.
That's literally what I just said. Thanks, Chris. Paid professional.
You guys. Oh, I see. I'm sorry. Let me adjust your volumes.
Yeah, I'm down, you're up. Or you're down, I'm up.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
I'm at Chris volume.
Yeah.
And you're at Jason volume.
All right, there we go.
So I'm blowing people's ears
Somebody was
out.
asking, "You're pretty quiet today, Chris," and I'm like, "Hey, I'm just a little tired."
And I'm blowing people's ears out.
There we go. I think I adjusted it a little bit better.
I think.
How's that sound, Tim?
I think we're gonna start with black because it's on such a bright substrate with the green. Black.
Hey, Monday, thank you so much. We love our Discord community. There's a bunch of you guys in there and gals.
Tons.
Here, I'm going to zoom out. Perfect. Thank you, guys. Hoosier says, I'm just waiting for a Monument Hobbies Conquest game stream. It's not impossible. It's a little tricky to set up a game stream.
I mean, we have a game table right over there that we sit at when you have guests, so it ain't that impossible.
Well, I meant just, I don't know. I guess I look at it and I always wish for a better angle, typically. We could figure
Chris
it
hates
out.
Anything less than perfection.
When it comes to video, I struggle.
But if we were just doing it for fun, we could just do it.
We could. That's true. That's true.
Again, when priming, do light feathered coats. This is, if you've watched that video, many of you have, where I say just ride that line between paint and no paint. That's what we're doing right here.
Yeah.
Just what I call feathering the paint on there. It's just going on lightly. We're still seeing that crazy Army Man green underneath to some extent. And then when we get to layer 2, pop in closer.
Yeah.
Right, so you still see some green. You want it to kind of just turn the green a darker grayish green on that first pass. Keep the brush moving. Don't let it sit in one area too long. Don't let it build up a lot of paint. And then we go into pass number 2. And pass number 2, we'll start closing the gap and getting an actual good black on stuff. And start covering the green more. This, you don't have to wait between the layers very long, because a layer that's this thin will cure almost instantaneously. Not fully cured, but cured enough to go back over it, and it's going to have good adhesion on the subsurface. Because when priming, and this is something that it causes me no end of exasperation, because in the model world, not a lot of people know how to prime stuff. Either we come from a world where we just blast it with rattle cans, right? Or we just want to cover it in a single coat and be done. And when I come from a world of priming things in metal, like cars,
yeah,
I never painted cars, so I want to make that clear. I painted motorcycle tanks and motorcycle tins and things like that. I did never paint cars. Painting cars is more of a bodywork thing.
Yeah.
Anybody out there that's ever painted cars knows that you spend less of your time painting the car and more of your time prepping the car for paint.
Oh, yeah.
And I hated the prepping the car for paint part, so I never wanted to be an auto painter.
My dad was big into painting cars.
Painting cars is, like I said, it's all bodywork,
yeah,
and a little bit of paint. I've got a buddy, Ryan, in town here, that's his company does that. Collision repair, but very custom paint. And, you know, the sad thing is that you don't get to spend, if you love painting, you don't spend a whole lot of time painting. You spend all your time doing body work.
Yeah.
Metal work and filling and sanding and deburring and all welding and all that stuff. But when you prime a car, you don't prime a car in a single layer. And so that's always the thing I try to teach people, because everybody can understand the importance of paint and adhering on a car. If you were to, right now, I don't even know if Earl Scheib still exists. Anybody know what I'm saying when I say Earl Scheib?
No, what's that?
Earl Scheib is, and there's a bunch of them across the country in the U.S. that are just cheapo paint companies. Like if you needed to go get your car painted, you know, after a wreck, you could go the El Cheapo way, and it was Earl Scheib. They'd paint like your whole car back in the day for like $1,000.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you could get it done for like $4.99, $3.99. Paint your whole car, like to the point where they wouldn't even tape off. They wouldn't paint the door jambs.
Oh, interesting.
Right, they'd put tape on the glass windows and on the tires, and then they would spray your entire car. They'd cover up the headlights and tail lights if you were lucky.
Okay.
But so they would get overspray on everything. So they would take it off, and there might even be overspray like on your window.
Interesting.
Right? Yeah. And they would scrape the overspray on the window off most of the time with a razor blade, because it wouldn't adhere to the glass. But yeah, then you get what is done as like a rattle can prime job. It was one step above rattle can painting your own car in your own garage.
Yeah.
Right? That's what you're doing when you try to prime in one coat. You're putting a coat of paint on there that has no hope of doing what it's intended to do.
Yes.
You get lucky if you don't handle it a lot. But when priming, you want to do, 2 or 3 coats, very thin coats, get them to lock into one another, and now you've got a good basis for primer on the model. And that's what allows us to do stuff like this. We'll just let that dry while we clean the brush, and then we'll paint right over it.
Derpstick says, question about texture pastes.
Yeah.
How can you use the coarse and fine pastes together? What do you put on base first? Coarse, then fine? Oh, you do fine. Oh, right.
Fine, because the fine makes it like, I think of it in terms of like layers of how the earth would be. You get a compressed layer, which is fine dirt, so I put the fine on first, and then as we get to the loose rock on top, I use the heavier stuff, so it gives me texture. If I were to do the heavy stuff first, then the fine stuff starts to look like patches of mud or snow, so you can do that too. It can be really cool, because it'll be putting smoother surfaces on top of rough surfaces, so I think in terms of like area of mud. So I might do it all in coarse and then do, the finer, ultra fine snow or something on there to equal patches of mud or smoothed out dirt or something like that. But typically I start with the fine and then use the coarse to bring texture on top of the fine.
And Lyle says, so this is a silly question. No silly questions. What is the use case of texture paints?
The use case of texture paints?
Yeah.
Basing. They're basing materials.
Yeah, right.
They're meant to recreate dirt, mud, rock on your models. That's it. Super simple. Like we would, in the old days, you would put glue on the base and dip it in sand, which you can still do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of companies out there, Woodland Scenics and Kraut Cover and things like that create, basically you're buying sand and rocks in a bucket, and you can get, I would put super glue on my base, and then just swiggle the base around with the model in the sand, and you bring it out and there'll be sand on the base.
Well, I also
that equals dirt, and then you paint it because it makes it look like ground, right? Because what we're really talking about is you have the difference between a model that has nothing on the base, right? So this guy has some tactical rocks, but then the base top, the base top is just flat, right? Or you put texture on it, whether it's your own texture paint and rock or whatever. And so you're trying to create an environment for the model to exist within.
Yeah.
And that is just the easy way at scale, because you're not going to get a lot on a regular gaming base.
Right.
Because the model's feet have to sit on there, so you don't have a lot of space. But by putting that dirt on there makes it feel more realistic, or puts it in an environment where you feel like it could actually be a guy or gal doing stuff.
Lumberjack says, legit question. I tore paint yesterday, and now there's a texture from the paint lifting. Oh no, how can I fix that?
What's this now?
Lumberjack says, legit question. I tore paint yesterday, and there's a texture from the paint lifting. How can I fix that? Good question. That's a tough one.
I honestly scrape it back down. I try to not go to primer, but you might have to, and then just rebrush prime that area. The only way to really get rid of texture is just strip the area. And you got to be careful as you do it, because you can create an edge everywhere you scrape the paint down, and that edge can continue to bring texture in. So I typically go to the area where the paint has torn. So let me grab a model here, Tim. The area where I might have torn the paint, let's grab just random model off desk. Okay. So the unfortunate truth is, let's say I was glazing or something on this arm pauldron or arm thing, right?
Yeah.
And I tore some paint and got a texture on it. I didn't want it. I couldn't create it, make it battle damage or something, right? Because that's always the easy thing, is you could actually use the texture as a thing and then highlight it as if it was like a bullet hole or a mar. And we joke and say, oh, well, that'll just be battle damage. But there's a reality to where if you can use the texture it's created to create something on the model, like a hit from a hammer or a shot from a gun, then do that. Yeah. But otherwise, I would then scrape that paint back to the next line, demarcation line, which would be this edge of the trim.
Yeah.
And I would basically clear that area around in the visible spot, and then I would reprime and paint that area again. But I wouldn't strip the whole model. I would just say, like on this rectangle, if there was one, I would just scrape the face of that rectangle off and then reprime to the edges. You want to find an edge where the paint ends so the texture will stop. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then just paint that area back. Or just use it as battle damage. Like I said, I say that tongue-in-cheek a lot of times, but the reality is it's true.
Battle damage.
Battle damage.
Going back to that one Space Marine you had.
Unless you're painting He-Man.
Oh, that's different.
Tim loves He-Man. He-Man movie coming out. Tim, you excited?
Is that a show or a movie?
I think it's a movie, isn't it?
I'm excited for He-Man. I thought it was actually a dope commercial. I'll give him that. What was the trim you used for that Ultramarine, Jason? What was the color?
Trim I used?
Yeah, I think it was magnesium and gold.
Magnesium and rich gold.
Yeah, that's what it was, Ozzy. Go watch that video if you're not familiar.
Glazing rich gold over magnesium. Yep.
Yeah.
And then bright gold or white gold for the highlight.
That whole video of painting that Space Marine is right there too, Ozzy. Cade Model says, guys, yesterday's stream was pure gold. So many eye-openers just watching Chris go through the process and Jason coaching.
Glad you liked it.
You should make a series out of it. This is not a taught anywhere, pure knowledge. Yeah, we might do it again at some point. I'm going to cut that video down and take some bits from it. But the whole video is pretty...
You have to leave yourself in it, Chris.
No, I'm going to cut myself out. It's just Jason's face talking. No, I learned a lot yesterday.
Got a good nerve here. I got to get a piece of the flash that I didn't remove. So here's him with his texture. I got to get that off of there. Otherwise, that's going to come back to haunt us. I've had to cut primer off the model now.
I feel like a lot of that, though, is like you can't avoid that on Green Army Men.
No, but that was pretty blatant. Of course, now I've done exactly what Tim just said. Is I've had to elongate my area
battle damage
of problem.
He got hit in the head.
Well, my goal is to put another coat of primer on here in color, but I didn't want to tear the black that much because I already cleaned the airbrush. So we'll just go to the next color, and it'll just have to work. I'm going to do red oxide on this guy.
Where'd you get those wood handles, Jason?
I don't know. There was a guy who
asking.
contacted me years ago during COVID.
They're pretty cool.
He was from Canada. I don't remember what his name was or what his company name was. I haven't seen him since, so I don't know if he gave up and didn't make them anymore. He sent me some. We were going to try to figure out a way. He made all these cool things. He made this really cool set of magnetic base. Pop out?
Yeah.
This really cool set of like magnetic wooden base things that are sized for our paints to go in and a brush holder.
He made that for you.
Yeah, he made all this stuff for me.
That's cool.
We were thinking back in ways to bring out kind of a cool dashboard, setup for your house to do it. It just cost too much. The wood was too, the quality of wood I wanted to use was really good, and it just made it really tough to make it valuable. Wood's hard, right? Because wood is either you get it done by some cheap factory in China, which I don't like doing, or you pay artisan prices in the States.
Yeah, there's not a huge mid gap. What would you use to paint non-metallic copper, Jason? Puff Daddy, first time chat, welcome in. Non-metallic copper.
Puff Daddy.
Puff Daddy.
You got 50 months before you have to care about that.
Puff Daddy's man. Puff Daddy's man. That's silly.
The base I typically go with something like a burnt sienna or a burnt orange on it. I think of copper as being a reddish orange substrate. So in a lot of cases I start with that burnt sienna, burnt orange, colors in that vein, and then we'll work up to yellows or flesh tones. Depends. Do you want it to be bright and shiny, dull? I like a yellow ochre over the top. And then flesh tones are amazing copper colors.
Flesh
and
tones.
Typical, like flesh tones, whether it's a dark flesh is a great start for copper. Tan flesh and shadow flesh tend to be really good for highlights. And then a lot of times I'll do a glaze of like red transparent or pyro red over the top at the end. We should paint some non-metallic copper, Chris. Make a note.
I think
we get some people. It's not a hugely sought after thing because copper is not something that you find a lot of people wanting to paint, but we should do that.
We've had a few questions about it. Actually, we've had quite a few questions. Nice. That's a Red Army men now.
Yeah, copper can look really, really cool. The last time I did really focused in on copper was the Necron guy we did. There's a methodology for that Chris can maybe link. It's called Dirty Penny Copper.
Dirty Penny Copper. How about some dirty pennies? Dirty Penny Copper. Where is that? Let's see. It is. Hold. Here you go, laddies. It's right here. Dirty Penny Copper. Cool blammer. There you go.
I love that this guy has a grease gun, but it doesn't have a trigger.
Oh, it has a trigger, all right.
It doesn't even have a handle.
If you just believe enough, Jason.
Whoever sculpted these had never seen an army man. The person that sculpted these was a pacifist, it turns out.
Black says, might have missed the answer, but thinking of what would be a shadow color for purple light source. Would you go redder or bluer for that?
A shadow for a purple light source?
Yeah, shadow color for a purple light source.
Well, I typically, when doing lighting effects like that, if the light on this guy was purple, with dramatic light like that, I typically would paint the model in like fatigue greens. and then do a darker shade of my purple light. Like whatever I thought the mid-tone of that purple light was going to be, I just shade that down and put it over the green, right? Light blends with colors differently than paint does, so it's very hard to discern what you need to do there. But, you know, if it's going over green, let the paint do the talking for you. Put the dark purple in the shadows where the light is going to dim down. Because remember, there are no shadows if light is hitting it. So if your purple light is shining on the model, the shadows are whatever color the color of the model is when shadowed, because the light's not there, so the purple isn't there in the shadows, right?
Yeah.
Now it could be reflecting off of other surfaces if purple's your only color of light, but a lot of times, like I said, I paint the model the way it's supposed to be, like green, and this guy like fatigue green, and so my shadows would be dark green. And then I could glaze the purple into the dark green if the only light was dramatic purple, if I just wanted to do a monochromatic guy standing in purple light. But if there's like a purple light coming from this direction, then I would highlight all of my other spotlight effect or whatever in purple, but then the shadows of that wouldn't be dark purple. They'd all be dark green. It'd be whatever the color of the model was. Right? Because you would still have a secondary light source would be my thinking. So typically you're looking for a mid-tone and a bright highlight color when doing lighting effects.
Fallen Shot says, what's the difference between, say, transparent red and thinning down bold pyro red?
Different pigments, number one. Transparent red is not pyrrole red, so it's a different flavor of red anyway. More of a magenta red than the transparent. And they're both single pigment colors. Okay. So, but the pyro red, when you thin it down, won't have the viscosity control that the transparents do. They're already formulated different to be ready to spray and mix better. But you could get them close, right? With the single pigment colors, you could get them really close. So if you wanted to create something like a glaze of red, you could use pyro red, 100%. Yeah. You don't have to have transparent red to do that. Transparent red I like on the copper, like I was just talking about, because it is a more magenta red. And when it goes over those flesh tones and stuff, it doesn't just turn the penny red. It gets those peachy colors that copper has. Copper has more of a, like I said, like a peachy earth tone color to it than just pure red.
And can I use red as the shadow color for a blue workup?
100%.
That would be kind of cool.
100%. I'm using red for this green guy.
Wirehead, we don't do that. We don't eat the paint. Doesn't have an oregano flavor.
No.
Bear Paws, serious question. I'm looking to mimic. 1 second. I'm looking to mimic the look on the new red Corsairs. It is black to red transition. Would it be best to accomplish with a wash, transparent paint, or a glaze? Is there a better way? Corsairs.
That's a Huron Blackheart stuff. So is the transition that the armor goes from black to red? I can't remember looking at them. I just thought they were red armor with deep shadows.
I think so. It's black to red.
I mean, I would prime them in black, go to a like our black red, and maybe even darken that up with black, and use that as a layer, and just layer up to your red out of black, right? There's not a whole lot of reason to use another color shadow there, although you could use something like a purple, but the black part is tough because it is going to be darker than whatever you put as another shadow color. So I think you just transition from black to red. You can mix the black and the red and get an in-between color, layer that up to the red you like. That's probably the easiest way to do it. You could then put a wash, like a black wash, back over it to dirty it up again and to pull all your blends together, but I don't think you have to. That's really more of a confidence and skill level thing, right? If you're at a point where you don't think your blends are giving you the transition from black to red, maybe it's a little too abrupt, maybe it goes from black to black red to red and you can see it. A black wash will help even all that out. And then you might just have to highlight your reds a little bit more because the black wash will knock it all down. You're about to paint some white wolves. I like the white bear you painted with the purple shadows. What was that workup? It was royal purple as a base. Right, you can kind of see it best here, the royal purple, like in the palm of the hands and on the bottom of that stone.
Yeah.
It was royal purple and I think dark gray blue over the top of that. And then adding in white blue to dark gray blue, if I remember correctly. I don't think I moved to just blue, but I might have.
Huh.
I think it was white blue mixed with the dark gray blue to the highlights until I finally got to white blue as the top hair and then a little bit of transparent white sprayed on to brighten up the shoulder and the head. Pop in super close on this?
Yeah.
You can see how as I went, I just used each of the brighter colors as texture on the fur. So because this guy didn't have any fur sculpted on except on the face.
Yeah.
Right? So I had to do all of the hair as brush strokes for the rest of the body. But pretty easy.
Pretty easy, he says. I do like that model.
It's a fun model.
It is.
It's the only
cool.
one we ever painted from that thing. That was the whole reason I backed it, because the only way you could get that model was to back that Kickstarter. So I backed the Kickstarter. I got most of the models, and then I don't remember. I think I gave some of them to Matt because he was liking that game. I don't even know that I have those models anymore.
Commando Ken says, what was that bottle you were just using with the water?
It's an eye wash bottle. Yeah, it's an emergency eye wash bottle is what these are. So you use them when you get like chemicals in your eyes at a factory, and they're meant to squirt water in, but they're also just good for whatever. You get them at like a pair of 2 of them for like $7 on Amazon.
All right.
You say all right.
All right.
What do you mean, Chris? What do you mean?
Hexpaint says, what do you feel about
all right mean, Chris?
What do you feel about using AI color schemes? Does it get in the way of developing as an artist? Color schemes. How do you mean? Like for inspiration, Hexpaint?
Look.
AI color scheme. Oh.
We have a color for this.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Wait a second. Are you painting him? Are you painting this Green Army Man green?
What would you expect me to paint him?
Wait a minute.
They're not called Green Army Man for like your health.
Are you gonna just paint this like a Green Army Man?
I'm literally just gonna paint him green with red shadows. We're done. In about 10 minutes, we're done, Chris. We get to go home early. I'm taking you out to dinner.
Yeah?
No.
My gosh. Hexpaint is asking, how do you feel about AI color scheme ideas? Does it get in the way of developing as an artist?
No, I don't think so. I mean, as I talk, I might change my mind. I don't like anything AI. But, what's the difference between asking AI what goes with orange and going to Home Depot and picking up the leaflet they have with autumn orange paint schemes on it? Somebody else has done it, so it's done, right? So I don't know that the AI component really has a whole lot to do with that if it's making good choices on color, which is programmable. It's mathematical, so it doesn't mean that AI has had any artistic sense put into it. So I don't know that really bugs. I just don't like AI. So there's that. But all of my personal beliefs of AI out of the question, I don't know that it matters, right?
Jason, but I'm AI.
And I don't like Chris for that reason. I'm sorry that it had to be today that you learned this, Chris. I didn't ask you to have this conversation, Christopher.
Wow. Buried alive, chat.
I mean, you're an AI. You're not buried alive.
Beep boop.
You're buried dead.
Beep boop. Booply boop.
Booply boop.
B Dollar Girl says, question about the brush used yesterday by Chris. I used the Dauntless number 5.
The number 5.
If you are new to non-metallic metal, would it be better to start with a brush that doesn't hold too much water to try to avoid the coffee staining or tearing? Great question.
Well, it's a great question. The answer is a little more convoluted than I think you probably want. Again, it's one of those paint with the brush you feel comfortable painting with. A larger brush will hold more moisture, so you will have to wick more moisture off of it to get it to work the way you want it to. So that's true. That being said, the bigger brush will hold more paint, so once you wick it off, you can glaze longer with it, whereas a smaller brush won't hold a whole lot. So it's the same balancing act that every time we paint with a brush, whether you're glazing or not, is going to give you that question. The smaller the brush you go with, the less paint it holds, the less you can paint with the paint on the brush before it either dries out or you use it up. So I'm a big fan of like a number 3, right? A number 2 or a number 3 as your learning point for glazing, because anything else, the belly's too small. And things bigger are hard to control. So I think he went a little big with the number 5. I think that was a little presumptuous on his point to want to paint with that brush, but it's a great brush. I think it just holds too much moisture in the belly, and so even though you think you've got it out, when you press harder, you still find more moisture wicking out of all the because there's such a tremendous amount more bristles in a 5 than a 3.
I think
it's like double the amount of hair.
That makes sense, because like when you were describing that yesterday, I was like, why is there so much water when it doesn't feel like that?
Yeah.
And then when you go to press, you're like, oh, there's the water.
For me, it's that I would glaze with a larger brush on a larger surface, smaller brush meaning down to a number 3 on normal surfaces.
Gotcha.
Normal for gaming scale. And then when I primer or when I glaze on larger things like vehicles or bigger monster models, then I go to like a number 6. So because I want a lot of moisture, I want the paint, but I'm making bigger brush strokes so that moisture is being spread out like you want it to over larger surfaces. So.
Anakin Skyhumper says, question about cleaning brushes.
Yeah.
I've been using the same brush now for 3 years.
3 years!
Constantly cleaning it and making sure it was good. It's now at a point where after it gets water in it, the point starts to look like a broom head.
Yep.
Is it time to replace Old Faithful? 3 years for a brush? That's a long time.
If you feel like you have cleaned it as clean as it can get and you don't think there's any nonsense down in the ferrule, then it's probably time to move it on to being a basing brush or like you can use it as a feathering brush, a blending brush, a texture brush. You don't ever throw a brush away. Well, there's a time when you throw a brush away, but that time is not for a long time because you can always use it for something else. But if it won't hold a point anymore because it starts to splay when it's wet, is it a sable? I'm assuming it's a sable if it's looking like a broom head.
Lumberjack says, I've got a 3-year-old sable. I remember you were mentioning that, Lumberjack. Anakin Skyhumper says, it was pretty much only used for edge highlighting and glazes, so it lasted a long time. Okay. Yeah. It's a sable.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of times, the hair had, particular oils on it whenever it was collected.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have a hair follicle anymore. It's not alive. So it doesn't generate any new oils. And conditioning only goes so far, right? If you were stuck with the head on your hair, or the hair on your head for your whole life and it didn't grow new ones, it would do the same thing as your brush. There'd be a point where you couldn't condition it any longer. Because the way hair scales with the cells along the surface of the hair, it just eventually gets frizzy by its own nature. So if it doesn't fall out and get replaced, then it would just turn into a mop on our heads. And that's kind of what's happening with your brush, probably.
Yeah.
Is that it's just, no matter how well you've cleaned it and conditioned it every time, eventually that doesn't work anymore.
Hexpaint says, I recently got glasses specifically for miniature painting. It's a total game changer for me.
Yeah.
Do you use specific glasses for miniatures?
I only wear readers. I don't wear glasses or contacts in my normal life, so I have these 1.5x readers, and the only time I wear them is when I paint.
Maybe I should do that.
Maybe?
Yeah. I was noticing yesterday, I'm like, I was when you were talking, I was like noticing I couldn't see portions of a ridge, and I'm like,
yeah,
I think I'm just need to get.
Are you farsighted or nearsighted?
I can't see far away, so that's nearsighted. Right?
Nearsighted.
Yeah, nearsighted.
So yeah, I mean Jen is farsighted, nearsighted. She's one of the two.
Nearsighted,
and she wears readers when she paints.
Oh, okay, yeah, got it.
And it helps her tremendously.
I might try.
She's the one whose readers I stole, and I said, "Hey, look, I'm Jen," and I was like, "Ooh!" And all of a sudden, the world changed, and I started wearing readers.
And now you paint so well for camera because your paint's so far away, which is awesome. Let's see. Booker says you're competing with the U.S. Olympic hockey game right now. This is how much I love you.
I mean,
do you like watching the Winter Olympics?
It's us or them. Jen's had it on, and it's been fun to kind of watch.
It's fun to watch. Yeah,
it's been fun to kind of watch some of it for sure.
I do not know anything about what they do.
Camo green, because camo green was made for Green Army men.
I don't know anything about Winter Olympics. I know one of my old producers, his brother is super into curling.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, super into it. Hey, to whom's their ha's, chat.
Yeah, I've been having fun watching some of it. I don't get into it to the point to where I watch a ton.
Dude.
Over dinner or something and sitting there with the girls, Jen and the dogs and stuff and having fun and doing belly rubs and talking about the day. And then when I'm done talking and I'm looking at the TV screen, I'm just a bad TV person.
Yeah.
So I typically am like, okay, well, I've had enough. Like last night we were watching it and it got to the point where it was, I think the men's single freestyle figure skating stuff.
Yeah.
Where the American guy that does the backflip was coming on.
Oh.
And I was like, yeah, well, I'm done. And I went, even though I was enjoying watching it, I don't, it doesn't, I'm not absorbed enough in it to just continue on.
Right.
I've been loving like the downhill speed skiing stuff has been really fun just because it's like those people are all insane.
Dude, I can't imagine.
So I watched some of the women's of that last night where the U.S. women's double freestyle where they do the jumps off the moguls. That stuff was really cool. But yeah, there's a lot of really neat stuff. The Winter Olympics definitely are my favorite if given the choice between that and the summer because it has hockey.
Yeah.
You know?
I was going to say that was probably a...
And the NHL's back in it this year, right?
I think so.
Yeah, so the pros are playing this year, which is exciting. Which is exciting. So hockey in the winter. Although I have a real problem with it being a world best when you didn't allow the Russians. Because the Russians are arguably amongst they're a top 3 team in hockey.
Really?
On the world stage. Oh yeah, you can't say that anybody it mars this year for the Winter Olympics by not having Russia in the Winter Olympics because they have some of the best Winter Olympians on the planet. So it's a shame, you know. That's just a thing.
Yeah.
Can we get closer?
Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna zoom in.
Yeah, I was gonna say zoom off of that one rather than punching in. So that's a shame, but that doesn't prevent me from watching it. The U.S. women's team blanked Canada for the first time in a long time, maybe the first time ever. So that was fun to watch. Just the highlights. I didn't see the game. But watching the U.S. women's Olympic hockey team shut out Canada was fun.
Can you come over a little bit?
The Canuckastanians.
Who just had Pistol Whip? Earlier you said my next thing is to learn shadows and highlights, volumes and values.
Yeah.
What's the best method of implementing this? Washes and building back up? Start from black and layer a ton? ?
If you watch the way I paint, you can see I start from darker base layers and then layer towards my light. I find that to be the easiest. It's the way that I have been not taught, but the way I kind of self-taught. And so you see I started with a black primer, then the red oxide, and now I'm doing the greens over the top of that. And that's going to give us a really interesting green with the red shadows on it.
Yeah.
So I like doing it that way, and I'll just keep moving to brighter and brighter colors as I go from each part of the model. When I go back to paint this pouch, it might be dark brown and then brighter browns. So I paint that way. Yeah. There's also arguments to be made to start from a mid-tone if you're more comfortable doing that. So if you prefer to start from, say, a white primer and put your mid-tone color all over the model and then build up, that works great too. So there's as many ways to paint as there are painters, is what I always say. There's no correct answer. There's no silver bullet that's going to solve the problem for you. If you're at that point where you're learning, like you said you were, and you're just getting comfortable with, I practiced, I'm getting the paint, I'm comfortable putting the paint on the model and not getting it in all the wrong places, that's great. Now just pick a style and start. If you want to do what I do and start painting from, dark colors to light, try that and see if it feels good to you. I would also suggest then try doing it the other way around. Right? Play around. Don't limit yourself by thinking there's only one way. Not everything I say is gospel. So, and same goes for anybody else you watch on YouTube or Twitch or whatever. Find what's comfortable. And really what winds up happening over time is you put a compilation of people's things that you've learned, something maybe you see myself do, something you see, somebody else out on the internet do, one of your friends at the local gaming store, right? You'll see, and you'll kind of make a hybrid of those things you've seen that feels good for you without even knowing it. You'll be like, oh, how did you do that? Well, I did this thing I saw the guy on the internet do, but then you told me about this thing and I tried that too. And you'll find yourself creating your own style before you know it.
Yeah. Hexpaint says, did you ever think Monument Hobbies would be so successful as it is when you started with slow fees?
Never.
What do you think has been the secret to your success?
Honest to God, no, we didn't ever think. I tell the story to anybody that'll listen that Jen and I really only ever thought that we hoped that we'd be able to sell enough stuff to pay the mortgage and for food on the table and keep the dogs and toys, toys and dog food. That's really it. We didn't ever sit down and think we were going to take over the world by making hobby supplies.
Yeah.
We just wanted something. I wanted something initially because Jen wasn't involved at the very beginning directly, but she was there. And I just wanted something that was fun to do. You know, I came from building motorcycles and had done a lot of stuff that was based on kind of my love of the thing I was doing. And I felt like that was what I wanted to continue doing.
Yeah.
And after I sold my metal shop and got rid of most of my motorcycle stuff, I still have some, but got rid of most of my motorcycle stuff. For me, it was about, okay, well, what else do I really love doing that I would be able to share outwardly in an enthusiastic manner so that, you know, you could, you know, turn a hobby into a living. And painting came up, and I was like, okay, well, we'll give it a shot. And so the Twitch channel was born. And then, you know, thinking about selling product really was something that chat drove me to do. A lot of people in chat were like, oh, you know what? Because I used to shape my own brushes. I would buy other company brushes, and then I would trim them to be the shape I liked so that they had a little less of a flame shaped belly, a little stronger taper to them because of painting 3-dimensional surfaces. It just made sense to me over time. I don't ever remember where I learned or picked that up. I think I just made it up on my own. And just started doing that. And people were like, oh, that brush you use is really cool. I would, you know, where did you get that? They wanted to buy it. And I was like, well, I made it. You know, or I took this Winsor Newton and I cut it. And they were like, what? I was like, yeah, I took this $30 brush and I cut it because it doesn't work good the way it is. You know, that was just natural for me over time. And so we started making product. But no, I never had a single ounce of thought that we would be where we are now. But thank you, guys and gals, because it's through your support and pushing us to do better is always what drives us. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I guess the question was, why do you think it was something that became a hit?
Yeah.
I do not know how to tell you how we captured this lightning in a bottle. I want to believe that our openness and our honesty and our focus on our community all along, because we started as, you know, content creators really, and the community was what made everything happen. I think that's it, right? I get my biggest joy off of being able to hang out with you guys and gals on the internet, my internet buddies who also like all this nerd crap, and just doing this stuff, right? As kumbaya drum circle as that might sound, that's the reality, is that's what keeps me going, and it gives me the energy to paint. And as long as I'm energized to paint, then I think people watch and really learn and love, you know, what we do in that regard. I think this channel has done a lot. And then we make one of the most amazing paints you'll ever use. And that was just a labor of love, along with, you know, other people that had a belief in us. And we hit the nail on the head. I wanted to make something different. I wanted to make something that wasn't like everybody else's paint. And we've done it, you know. And we've got our detractors. Some people don't like the way our paint works. And I'm like, okay. That discussion was going on in our Discord today before I came in here. I was like, hey, we're not trying to make the same thing you can go buy from Vallejo or GW. Why would I do that? You can already go buy that.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to just sell stuff with that's the same stuff in a different bottle. I wanted to make stuff different. And if it doesn't fit for your style, then it doesn't fit, and that's fine.
Yep.
But yeah, I think that has helped with, you know, providing something new that's built for making painting easier for more people, but giving you a very professional look.
Yeah.
And not treating people like they're dumb and they can't use good products. We believe that every painter is entitled to great products. You know, one of the background philosophies that I have is that a great painter can make any product look good, but a great product can make every painter look good. And that's what we set out to do, is make a great product that made every painter look better, so that they didn't even have to worry about, like, oh my gosh, how did this happen? And that's one of the best things I ever hear, is people like, I don't know what you did, but every time I paint with your paint, it looks better than anything else I've ever used.
Yeah.
That means the world.
Well, it says the product is great, but for me, it's definitely is because it's obvious you all do this for the love of the game, not just making a buck.
Oh man. Yep. Jen and I wouldn't know what to do without this in our lives now. It's funny. She doesn't get to join us on the stream as much, but when she does, she lights up. You know, she remembers. Pepperidge Farm remembers.
We can get her on here more.
Yeah, I think she'd love it. I think she'd love to come on and paint some. We might have to drag her kicking and screaming. She might not admit it. She may be out in chat laughing at me right now. But
Jason knows how to produce now. Uh-oh.
So our green's already looking good, and this is just one light kind of mid-tone glaze. It's not a super glaze because I'm getting a lot of color in one pass.
Have we gotten any self-addressed envelopes yet?
No.
I haven't gotten any.
Not that I know of.
Scorcher says, treating us like a community there. That way you care about the community and how you interact with us. Then add integrity along with the incredible products. We're happy to buy products from a company like that.
Thank you.
That's why I say I'm the community and not just customers. Yes, Scorcher.
Thank you. And the hard thing is I don't know how to, I couldn't write a book on that. You know, you could say that a million times and I could only just say, well, here's what we've done. Because it was never something we sat around a table and said, you know how to sell more stuff is to be cool to people. Like, how do you do that? We're just like, no, I just believe that I'm a treat people the way you want to be treated guy. And that goes through into the way we do our products too. You know, our customer service is really big for me to make sure that, you know, hey, everybody deserves an answer. I don't care how silly their question is. I don't care if you believe they're right or wrong. To my customer service team, I was like, that's not the issue. It's that they deserve an answer. Give them an answer. You know, don't leave them hanging. Give them an answer. A lot of people very early on got frustrated with our customer service because rather than being like a Amazon where you call up and say, hey, I have a problem with my product, that they would just be like, okay, we're sending you a new one.
Yeah.
We would be like, hey, can I ask you a few questions? And I was surprised at first at how many people got mad at that. They're like, no, I don't want to answer your questions. I just want you to fix my problem. And I'm like, well, you're painting and the problem, I don't want to send you out another bottle of paint if you're just going to have the same problem because it's either not working for the way you paint or you're using it wrong or whatever. I'm not blaming you. I just want to help you. And then it started into people were really liking that, you know, but it was a tough time there for a while. We were like, why are people mad at us? Like, just send me a new bottle. And I'm like, well, I want to make sure that if I send you a new bottle, that bottle works. Because everybody was just immediately into, whoa, I got a bad batch. I'm like, that's not how our paint works. That's actually cool.
Mandu says, what would you say ProAcryl excels at? And
simplicity and consistency.
And where is it not the right fit? And what other paints would you suggest for those?
Great question. On all fronts, I think that, you know, our goal, like I said, was simplicity, the ability to make every painter feel better about their painting. It's a high ask. I didn't ever really, you know, there was a time where if you'd been around on the show, which a bunch of these guys and gals that are in here right now had been in the stream when we had said this, and we said we'd never make paint. Yeah. We made white paint, but people were like, when are you going to make more colors? And we were like, never, because making white paint was just a chore. We did it in our kitchen. It was a pain in the butt. It was messy. We didn't largely know what we were doing. We just kind of hit a home run because of something that I'd been doing for years without all the knowledge in the world that I needed. And so we said, nah, you know, there's already good paints. We used Vallejo. You know, we even painted with Army Painter. You know, they were big supporters of the stream early on. So those types of things were just kind of built into us. So we were like, no, there's already people that make great paint. But then as I started, I was not a community painter, though. You got to remember, this was new at the time. There were not a whole lot of people painting on the internet. There were some YouTube channels. Vince had just started his YouTube channel. I think he's been around for over 10 years now. You know, Ben Comets and Matt had the Painting Buddha channel. So there was painting on the internet. But there wasn't this big outreach of being able to listen to people this way. Like, you guys can come on here and I can hear what your struggles are with painting right here, as close to face as you can get on the internet, right? Because you can ask a question, I can go, that's interesting, I hadn't thought about that. And we can kind of dig through it together and find a solution, and I can try it and you can give me feedback, and it's really great. That interactivity was new to me. I had only really painted in a closet. I was a closet nerd for most of my life. It wasn't something that I did in big groups except when I worked at GW. Yeah. And in GW we were all closet nerds, but we sat in a big group and painted together. So then when it was like this and I could get that feedback, it really started showing me there is a world where a product can exist that does something different and actually could do it better. I've been in product development my whole life, and I've always said that I won't make a product unless it's something I will use. It won't just make a product because it feels like, oh, you can make some money on it, you know. I want to make a product that, while making money might be the ultimate goal, you make the money by making the right product, right? Not by creating a problem that didn't exist before. Yeah. You know, like if I just make a problem and tell you, oh, this is a real problem, you should buy our product to fix it. And you're like, it never really was a problem to me. Then it doesn't do good. Our paint solved the problem of simplicity, but high quality, in a world where simplicity usually just meant cheap and of mediocre quality. But it was simple to use and cheaper to use, so you didn't feel like there was a lack of value if it just looked like every other paint. You're like, yeah, but it was cheaper. right? And so I didn't want to do that. I wanted to make it to where when you spent the money on the paint, you felt like there was a reason you spent that money and you felt better for it. So that's what we set out to do, and that's what ProAcryl does. ProAcryl acts more responsive. It's more consistent.
Yeah.
Every time you pick up a color, you know how that color is going to act. The only difference is going to be the opacity. And now with the advent of some of our newer colors, a little bit of the finish, because we do some satin and gloss colors now, but very few. So for the most part, you're going to know exactly what you're going to get. You know that the colors will mix very well. You know that the way that you glaze with one is going to be very similar to the way you glaze with all of them. The technique you use for airbrushing will work with every color, so you're not having to relearn the wheel every time you go through and grab another bottle. That was where we decided we wanted to be. We wanted that consistency that I had been bitching about without really paying attention to it, because I'd been painting for 45 years, and all paints were like that.
Yeah.
Tamiya, Testers. Well, Testers was actually fairly consistent because it was just very thick enamel paint.
You used, yeah.
So you thinned it
Absolutely.
with you thinned it with a lacquer thinner,
Yeah.
You know, or enamel thinner, and then all of them you had to do that
It was all
with.
the
So
same
you just
thing.
I got so used to over the years just having to mess with paint, because
Yeah.
no paint came out of the bottle the way I needed it. Because if I was airbrushing, none of the, not even the Vallejo airbrush line that was great for when it came out, but it was so inconsistent. I was like, even it doesn't work great. I still have to do things with it to change it, you know? And so I knew that I guess I didn't focus on the fact that for all that time, I'd already been telling myself what we needed to do, but I was reluctant to do it because I'm like, I don't know anything about this. But then we just started out. I don't know if any of you have been around long enough. I know Deadbeat Artist, if he's in here. But there have been some people around long enough to know that, like, we started with a buddy of mine had a guy who was in the automotive world with me from Japan, who had, his family had done some of the aluminum sand casts for our headlight buckets.
Huh.
And I had reached out to him first because I remember him telling me that he had a family that was really into art.
Yeah.
Because he had seen some of my art, my drawing and painting. And so he's like, oh yeah, I got a friend that makes paintbrushes and blah, 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 or whatever it was. And so I reached out to him and I said, paintbrushes, blah, blah, blah. And eventually I got in contact with somebody that made our first brushes over there through him. And I actually got back in touch with him when we wanted to do paints, and we got our first paints were from Japan. And that would have been really fun, but unfortunately that company made, fine art oils and acrylics and didn't know how to do liquid paint.
Yeah.
Because it was just a different world for them. So there was a lot lost in translation that didn't wind up working out. But I don't know who on the stream remembers us, but we tested out some paints for a long time, and they didn't understand why I wanted the paints so matte, so they were very reluctant to do it.
Yeah.
So I kept getting very satin, and I said matte, and it was just, a lot lost in translation. So there was a time where after fighting with that, I was like, nah.
The rest is history.
Yeah. But from the other part of the question is also very good. Like, what do I think that we don't do well?
Yeah.
We don't ever plan on having 8 million colors. So if you look at the way the world responds to our paint, I think one of our most common what I will call literal gripes, because gripes about our paint cap and things like that I don't look at that very often.
Yeah.
Because they're subjective gripes. I was talking about that in Discord today. It's not that I don't pay attention to it. We offer a drop top and a flip top lid because of that.
Yeah.
But we love our lid. But from a standpoint of colors, I don't want to make 8 million colors. We're still a small business. We make all our own paint. So I can't make 8 million colors without more real estate, more people, more expense in machines, because, you just have to have all that. And so that wasn't where we wanted to be. So I think what I would say is that if you have colors in other lines that, really work for you, that's probably where you'll always have other colors on your bench.
Yeah.
And I'm a big proponent of saying, some people have learned a way of painting, and that way of painting may not work with our paint, just because you've learned to, like I did, you learn to have to thin everything a whole lot. Well, if you thin our paints a whole lot, they get very, very translucent real quick, because we made our paints to just work right out of the bottle. You don't have to do a lot of work with them, right? And that's the magic of ProAcryl, is that we can, with a very lightweight, not, paint that you don't feel like you have to thin, we have more pigment load than most other people do, right? So we have tons of vibrancy, tons of pigment, tons of ability to glaze and do all the things you want to do, and everybody else has to make their paints feel thick to get that, and we don't. But it's a distraction for some people, because they're like, I over-thin your paints all the time. I put them on a really wet palette and they don't work. What am I doing wrong? And so there are some things where your technique, I don't want to have to force you to learn a new technique. I don't want to tell you that, oh, you got to relearn how to paint
Right.
to use our paints, because most people don't, but some people do. And so in that case, use the paint that works. I always say the best tool is the one that gets the job done and makes you love having done the job.
Yeah.
Period. So never take for granted. You know, we don't really talk on this channel a whole lot, even though we probably should. We should be like, buy more Pro-Acryl. But at the end of the day, I hope that eventually you give our paints a shot, because we make really good stuff, and it keeps us alive.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you paint with whatever. If you come in here and ask me a question about how to glaze or whatever, one of the big things I'll say is, what paint are you using? If you have a problem I'm not sure about, I'll be like, hey, what paint are you using? And then I'll try to adapt. I don't have those paints, so I can't test them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm all for it. But I think that's our biggest drawback, is that we don't ever plan on having like 5 million colors. There really isn't a whole lot of else that's there. I think we've hit a home run. We've got like the best paint in the world of acrylics for painting 3-dimensional surfaces, because it's purpose built for that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
So I'm not going to say there's another limitation, because I don't know one. I sit here and I paint every day, and I never have a limitation. I can always pick up Pro-Acryl, and it does exactly what I need it to do.
Yeah.
And I've been painting for a long time, so you know, you may not have the ability or the confidence in your painting, but I am pretty much as the owner of the company, I'm the guy that stands behind it and says, you can do everything you see me do with just a little bit of practice. The paint will never be the thing that holds you up. Never.
Shadowcast says, what color should I highlight bold red to get a scarlet color?
Scarlet?
Yeah. Interesting.
Scarlet is a little bit... this is a dangerous slope, because it's going to need a little bit of blue. And that's, like I said, it's dangerous, because that's better to mix, not to highlight. You're not going to highlight Pyro Red and make it look scarlet. You need to mix a color into Pyro Red to make it look scarlet. Scarlet Red is not the same, right?
Yeah.
And so you needed to have mixed that all along, because your mid-tone is the one that makes the color look the way you want it to be, not the highlight. The highlight's going to desaturate the red, and I'm not sure right off the top of my head anything that's going to get you to a very scarlet look through the highlight. If I played with it for a minute, we probably could, but I think you're probably more like you want to be mixing that color as your mid-tone as you go.
Yeah.
I hate these guys because they have these big areas
I
where
was just about to say, is that a smudge on my screen?
Those are the vents.
Yeah.
Those are the vents where when the plastic goes into the mold, that's where the air vent was, and then when they pop out, they bust those vents off.
Yeah.
But that's something where it digs into the sculpt, so
Yeah.
if I clean it, it looks really worse. I probably should have, but whatever. It's on the butt side, so.
Curtis says, are there any videos you guys do a walkthrough of your manufacturing setup?
Yeah, Miniac came through the studio last year before.
Yep.
Year or two ago. Scott the miniature Miniac came through and did a really cool video where he walked through and talked to a lot of the staff, Chris included, on what all goes on at Monument, and he took video of the paint machine working and all that. It was at this building that we're in now. All the production facility and stuff has moved now.
Yeah.
It's a couple miles from here. We have 2 buildings. But yeah, it was great. He loved it too.
Source says, my Bolt Titanium White is a lump. Not been used for over a year. Is that expected?
Can be if the type didn't close all the way. At some point, or if you've had a lot of hot-cold transition, it's a water-based product, so it can, depending on the temperatures you've left it in, if you haven't used it, any acrylic paint can start to go bad. It shouldn't, right? Because the sealed cap that we do, the first questions I always ask people like that is, did you take the O-ring seal out of it? Is the seal still in it? Stuff like that, but definitely can.
And Shadowcast says, okay, what mix?
Boy, let's try it real quick and I'll show you. Because I like transparent blue for that. But it's harder to work with to get your color dialed in, I think. Let me
Scarlet? Ooh, that's a tough
one. Bring up, if you would, Scarlet Red.
Scarlet Red.
Because if you do Scarlet Witch, it's not Scarlet.
Scarlet Red.
Yeah. So
Scarlet's is this one? Is this a Scarlet?
That's an orange red. See, that's the thing. Scarlet red's more like that.
This?
Yeah, the scarlet is going to trend a little bit more blue. Magenta-y blue.
Magenta-y blue.
So it's not wanting to be a pyrrole, which is a warmer color. But we'll put some pyrrole out. And then I'm going to grab, let's go with, what colors do you have? Do you have dark blue? Or do you have Payne's gray?
Yeah.
Do you have Payne's gray by any chance?
Payne's gray.
Payne's gray would be the perfect choice here because it's a very sedated blue. Is the best way to say it. Chris doesn't have a serious side. They're lying to you.
Me? I don't have a...
Chris has only been serious when he's mad at me.
At you?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
How many times have you been mad at me?
How many?
Yeah. Lots.
Man.
See? That's when
Can't
it's serious. Okay, so some Payne's gray. Right? Bam.
Yeah.
My glass is back.
Did Chris clean your glasses? Me?
Are they dirty?
No.
Why did it get stuff on them? They're really dirty.
Are you talking about
They're dirty, but that's because I never clean my glasses. I don't wear glasses, so I'm really bad at glasses care.
Yeah.
Like, I've never in my life had to wear glasses, so for me, I'm like, oh, yeah. And then I'm like, why don't these work? And you take them off, and you're like, oh.
I could get
that's probably not
cleaner.
good.
I have a bunch of glasses cleaner at my desk.
All
yes
right.
to both. Okay.
All right. Let's take just a spot of Payne's gray into our red, and boom, scarlet.
I feel like that's perfect.
Boom, scarlet. Then you can keep bringing your red in as much as you want to brighten it up. And then for your highlight, you're literally just doing this. You're just bringing your red into smaller bits of the mix until eventually you get back to the pure red.
Oh, Jason, it's a heart for Valentine's Day.
That's like a real heart in your chest looking heart, though. Right?
That's great.
That's it. That's scarlet.
And scarlet, there you have it. What red is that?
Pyro red. That's pyrrole.
Pyrrole? I hardly know her.
You know her very well.
You
know her very well.
He held back there, chat. Oh, speaking of holding back. Somebody said I wasn't using enough sounds today. This is a 90-10 serious business, fun paint time, and then 10% silly sassy. Welcome in, everybody. We're so happy you're here. Hey, Ghost Bear. Thank you so much for that sub.
Painting this helmet, all my brushstrokes go to the peak. Right? We talked about that a lot with Chris yesterday. When painting with thinner paint, all my brushstrokes go from the rim of the helmet up to the top.
Yeah.
Right? And they don't stop. And they don't stop. On and on and on and on. So you want to make the brushstroke go from, can we zoom in a little bit more? Or are we all the way in?
Let me, 1 second. Hold,
Pop
please.
in and then zoom out? Maybe? Holy miniature army man. Can you zoom out some?
Yeah.
How far?
Right here?
That's pretty good. So the idea is that you start your brushstroke at the rim of the helmet and bring it as far up as you can, right?
Yeah.
Like so. Always rotating the model and always painting towards the same spot in the middle, making sure that each brushstroke is getting full coverage as you go. Right? That's going to layer your brightness up to the top. Now, all my brushstrokes didn't hit, so you see how there's a little darkness.
Yeah.
But you see the ring around it is where my brushstroke stopped, and so it makes a lot more pigment loaded up at the top there.
Yeah.
That's the way that you control your glaze and cover an entire panel all at once. And then when I'm coming back to finish, because I'll need to have this catch up, then I'll just kind of come in and very quickly squib a little bit here, stipple it around. When I stipple it, it will help it to blend out to all those other brushstrokes.
Stippling. Hey, Ghost Bear, thank you so much for those gifted subs. Shout out to Ghost Bear. If you got a gifted sub from him or her.
Bam.
All right. Jason, I see you and your little army men, you. I see what you're trying to do there.
Come on. Having fun with this guy. He's actually fun.
Somebody said
I haven't done this in a long time.
somebody was it was earlier. The Monument Sergeant lost all of his fingers in the line of duty. This guy has got no fingers.
He missed his Sergeant
No
Nubhand.
little fingers.
Lieutenant Nubby.
Lieutenant Nubby.
This is Lieutenant Stan. Lieutenant Dan lost his legs.
This is
Lieutenant Stan, he ain't got no hand.
Lieutenant Stan. There you go. I do feel, Redface says, I do feel the pickle is underused compared to when Jason hosts.
See?
Well,
See?
that's kind of the
Give
point.
the people what they want. He says it all the time, but he doesn't know what it means.
I let Jason know. Hey, whoa. There's serious business on this stream, mister.
I'm painting a 5-cent army man, Chris.
That is the most serious you've ever been.
Okay. Oh.
See what I'm
Wow.
saying?
Okay.
I think so, man.
Okay.
You can pay whatever you want.
And I've chosen to
You don't
paint a
need all
5-cent
this
army man.
Expensive.
Actually, how much was this guy? They were $5 for 50. So what is that? A cent?
Something
No.
like that.
No, 10 cents. 10 cents. Math.
Jason, I was just about to say, with Jason's pile of shame, we resorted to just painting the Green Army Men. But you can pay whatever you want. That's the whole idea. If you don't have fancy paint models, just pick up one of these.
Well, these are some of the absolute best test models you can use
There you go.
for creating detail. Whereas,
Yeah.
like, our texture trainers are fantastic for you to learn and practice exactly what's on the tin, the different textures
Yeah.
that they present, hair, flesh, yada, yada. This is a great way to practice having to create your own shadows and texture because this model doesn't have a lot of detail. But notice how I'm already bringing it to life with some forced shadow under the arm, right? I'm exaggerating where there should be folds in the fabric,
Yeah.
so that I'm getting some depth and dimension on here that isn't actually in the sculpt.
Yeah. I mean, if you're into that kind of thing, and it's pretty cool. I'm into it.
This guy.
I'm being serious. I'm into it.
This guy.
Hey, we hope you're into this kind of thing, chat, because if you are, you should go hop into our Discord challenge for February.
You still got a couple weeks.
Chris, but what if I don't want to paint, says Panic Bomb. Panic Bomb, what? What do you mean? That's not allowed. No. No. You got to paint.
It's in the rules. It's literally in the rules. When you were born, you were delivered with a rule book.
Yeah.
The rules say, got to paint.
I see. Well, man, it's not funny if you laugh at your own joke, Chris. Hey! What? No, it's hilarious.
Glad he said it.
I laugh at my jokes all the time. Why not?
Somebody has to.
Oh, boy. Wow.
Somebody has to. Otherwise, you feel bad about it. It's like, wow, that was a waste.
Watt says, I need to paint, but also Blizzard did something wild and released a new class for Diablo 2 yesterday.
Warlock.
Diablo 2?
Yeah.
What?
Well, they're releasing Warlock for all the Diablo platforms, I guess. But the Diablo 2 one came out first.
And Diablo 3?
And Diablo 4.
Wow. Interesting.
They come out at different tops. Like, I think Diablo 4 is in April for the Warlock. And Diablo 2 was last night.
Dude, I
And
miss
Diablo Infinite? I don't even know what that is.
I think that's the mobile
Like
version?
a mobile game?
I miss playing Diablo 3. Not Diablo 3, says Watt. Oh.
Yeah, not 3. Only 2,
I
4,
love
and
Diablo
Infinite.
3. I played Diablo 3 a lot. A lot. I was on the world leaderboard. That was my one claim to fame.
Like number 10,152?
748.
That's pretty good, dude.
Yeah.
Holy.
That was that time where all I did was work and then play when I got home.
Holy. That's crazy.
Yeah. Witch
That's some
Doctor.
Crazy talk.
I only played one character in that game for a long time.
Burnt Umber.
Oh, it is their mobile game. Okay. You doing the face now? The
Yeah.
skin?
Some skin.
This might be good for my dad to watch because I'm always trying to get him to paint the faces. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, really?
Look at that little guy's face. He's fun.
Really? That's interesting, Chris. Really?
Or
Here,
are
you know
you
what we're going to do? We're going to paint the eyes correct today.
are you making fun of me?
Whoa, whoa,
Wait a second. Wait a second. Am I
whoa.
missing something here?
I need for you to back up off me.
Are you
son,
making fun of me?
Son, I'm teaching the people the glory of painting.
What are you doing?
I need you to back up off me. I'm going to switch over to dark ivory real quick.
Okay.
And that blurry scene that you just got there. Because we are very zoomed in.
I'm very zoomed in.
Very zoomed
I
in.
want because you said you were doing eyes, and I'm like, well, immediately need to go. Zoom. You want to center up for me? There you go. Okay. He's painting eyes, chat.
This is the safety method that allows you to be able to be kind of messy. Although I always tell people when doing this to at least try to cut it in correctly.
Yeah.
So that you don't have to rely on messiness. But if it just is beyond you, if you just don't care, then you can be very messy at this stage. You're just trying to put a light color, not white. This is dark ivory. Bone works very well for this, right? Bingo. One eye's bigger than the other one. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine, chat. Black brown is the right choice.
Why is that?
It's just the closest thing to taking care of the pupil and the iris at the same time.
Oh.
Right?
Oh. I guess I didn't think of it that
Could
way.
you do a stripe of green or blue or something like that? Yes, but sometimes if the color gets too bright, it misses a pupil. And then that's the part you don't want to be doing is like that. Right. So a color like black, brown, or even black is great for this scale.
Okay.
As you go up in scale, this changes, right? Because you're going to be able to see the pupil and the sclera and the iris as separate things.
Yeah.
And so you have to be careful. Like on this one, you don't really shade the sclera too much. I guess we could a little bit, but I'll put a wash in them later that'll take care of that for me. I just want to get the paint nice consistency.
I might zoom in really close. Can you?
Yeah.
1 sec. Let me try this if you're good with that.
That's good.
Okay.
Right, and then I will do a vertical line down the center because he's just looking forward. So.
Okay. Why do you do a vertical line?
Just to help me place it where it needs to go.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Because at scale, you're not going to be able to tell the shape of the pupil anyway.
Mm.
So it can be just a vertical line. It helps a lot of people rather than trying to put a dot in the eye and then getting the dot in the same spot. This is easy because I can just draw a line and then I can tell that through the center of the other one. A lot of people will have a lot easier time just pulling the line in the same relation on each side so your pupils don't stare off in weird directions.
Yeah.
When you try to do a dot, it's the hand-eye coordination of getting the paintbrush to hit the right spot, and then also how you press, because how you press scoots the paint to be oblong in one direction or the other. When you're making a dot, it becomes elliptical. And if you do one eye and then you hit the other one, it typically skews them a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Because they're angled differently on the model and such.
Oh, that's a good tip.
That's it. That's all you do. Ta-da, eyes. And then we do this. We cut it in with the flesh tone. So we haven't painted any skin tone on him yet, right?
Yeah.
And the idea now is that we want to go in and cut in the eye, so to speak. So we'll frame it in with the flesh tone. So the flesh tone will cover up all of your sloppiness if you got sloppy with it.
Huh.
And you can use this to kind of shape the eye if you want. If you want to make it thinner, you can push the brush in a little harder, frame that bottom lid up. And you can see how now you're in control of being able to go in here and get up? Color on it. Oh,
sorry. There you go.
Sorry, we're really in close.
Yeah, this is good though. So you're just cutting it out that way, huh?
Yeah, I'll just shrink it. Maybe I don't want the side to go out as far, so I'll just kind of pull the brush in like that. Shrink the eye in a little bit. Get on the inside here. And then same thing over here.
Nice.
And the nice thing with this is that a lot of people have problems when painting eyes on miniatures like this, because if you do the whites of the eyes, the sclera,
Yeah.
and you put the sclera on top of the skin tone you've created, it can make it look like a blotch of white paint on the face.
Huh.
Here, you're sinking the white underneath the flesh tone, because
Yeah.
the flesh is going to cut the edges in, and see, it actually gives depth to it, as opposed to making it look like you just painted it straight on. I'm going to have to turn it so I can see this side of the eye here.
That's okay. You're still in frame.
Of course I am, Chris. I'm a registered professional.
Registered?
You know, these hands are weapons considered illegal in 48 of 50 states?
Couldn't get it approved in Alaska?
No. Or Hawaii, bastards.
Shout out to Hawaii and Alaska.
King Kamehameha my butt.
That doesn't...
Just offended a whole nation of people. Right?
Let me refocus. Oh. Somebody just called this guy Ray Romano GI.
Could be, right? Is that what his
Ray
face looks
Romano.
like?
Okay, so you've gotten this far. You scoot over. Thank you. Let me refocus. There you go. We are very zoomed. Oh, up a little. Is that okay? Thank you.
Yeah, I guess.
I know.
I'm way out of my comfort zone here.
Nice. Thank you. Sorry, I just wanted to really get in on this guy. Let me see if I can. Nope, that's as far as it gets, chat. We're so zoomed in. That's a great way to do the eyes.
It's fantastic. I learned this from Shepard Payne. Great diorama builder from the old days.
Yeah.
He's passed now, but he was a fantastic teacher of all things scale model.
Indeed.
And this was one of the things I learned from him that just stuck. I don't know that I could tell you all the things, but that one did. Stuck.
And what do you do after this with the eyes? Do you go back and kind of try to add something to the middle?
Well, I'll go back and do a wash on them at this scale. You don't have to do a whole lot.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess that's true.
I'll do a wash once I'm done with the skin to darken around the edges. You could use magenta if you wanted to.
Yeah.
If you wanted to try to get the pinch of the eye at the tear duct and things like that. But
yeah, I mean,
you don't have to do a whole lot.
If you're at this scale, and I'm going to do this. Like, I mean, you're at. That's pretty.
Yeah.
We're pretty.
And right now it looks very raccoon eyes because the skin color's so dark.
Yeah.
But that's the way it works, right? And that's also why you never use white for scleras. That's dark ivory, and it's a fairly dark mid-tone color.
Why is that again?
Because look how bright they are.
Yeah, I guess.
Imagine if that was white.
It'd be way too much.
I mean, look at how bright white is compared to what you're looking at right there.
Yeah.
Right? White would wind up being absolutely too much of a deer in the headlight look.
Yeah.
This will sink down as we start getting highlight on the skin.
Hey, Nerval, thank you so much for that raid. Welcome in, Raiders. We're painting some Green Army men for one of our February challenges. And by one of them, I mean the February challenge. I was going to say for the February
challenge. I hope we don't have more than one.
Oh, we have many. 150, actually.
150 February challenges?
Yes, sir.
I did not approve of this.
That's a long review stream.
I did not approve.
Be a lot of pieces.
So yes, we're painting a Green Army man, and doing some neat things to give him a little bit more depth, make the Green Army man look cooler. Our February challenge is to just go crazy with a Green Army man.
Yeah. Scorcher says, just your color workup alone gives so much dimension.
Yeah, right. That's all you have to do. Right? That red underneath the shadows is really cool. And then this is just dark camo green. So you don't even have to get too crazy with your colors. Right? The red gives it a lot of depth, gives it a lot of life that wouldn't be there otherwise. If you just did like black or black green into it, it wouldn't feel the same. You could have the same contrast, but it's the red that makes it feel like it's part of something like dirt in the world or something like that.
Yeah.
So, but all I've done is, you can tell, is you can still see a little bit of the red oxide primer.
Yeah.
You can see the dark camo green, and then the camo green built up on the outside. Right, so I'm just doing like what I told Chris to do yesterday. Pull your brush strokes from the dark spot to the bright spot as you work brighter. That's all I've done all along here. So in the shadows, it's still the dark camo green and the red, and then I pulled the brighter color out towards the top. So if you can get used to making sure that your brush strokes always move towards the direction you want to see the most of the paint you're using, you'll get better depth right out of the gates, as opposed to, because we saw you do it a lot yesterday, where your instinct was to just push the paint around where it needed to go, without regard to where that brush stroke would and where it would put more intense paint based on the brush stroke.
Absolutely.
The brush always leaves the most pigment where you stop. So if you stop in the shadows with a bright color, you've just over brightened the shadows. Pull from the shadow to the bright spot and you'll get a better blend every single time.
I'm going to shut that
compressor down.
Yeah.
He doesn't have ears either, so it's Lieutenant Stan. What happened to your hand and your ears?
Lieutenant Stlan?
Stan.
Lieutenant Stalloon? Lieutenant
Stan is literally the easiest name I can give you, dude.
Lieutenant
Stan. It's one syllable. Stan.
Lieutenant Stalloon?
Stan.
I think I prefer Stalloon.
Stan.
And there's Stan. Hey, Stan. Shout out to Stan.
Stan, I named this guy after you. Stan, how'd you lose your hand in the war?
Well, let me tell you. Get it together, Chris.
Or did you lose it before the war? Was it like a lawnmower man accident before the war?
Do you think he went into the service this way?
Well, I mean, they got him posted up directing traffic, so yes, probably.
Okay, yeah.
He doesn't have a look of intent like, holy hell, boys, get out of the line of fire. He's not really like drill instructing anybody. I feel like he's directing traffic, this guy.
I think he is pointing at something for sure. if I had to guess, you know? I think this guy's really good at pointing in one direction for his entire life.
So now the joke is, do we paint his hand like it's all bandaged up? Or do we try to make it look like fingers and such?
I need to run a poll. I'm going to start running polls for simple questions like this.
You could, yeah.
Lawnmower Man reference in 2026?
Hey, I'm nothing if not reviving from the dead.
I don't know, man.
Great book. Horrible movie.
I don't know.
Lawnmower Man, Philip K. Dick?
I'm sorry, what?
Question mark?
What?
I can't even remember. I feel like it was a Philip K. Dick, right? Lawnmower Man?
I don't know.
Why don't you know these things?
I just here, man.
Maybe not.
Flapjack was asking and making sure everybody in the Discord challenge drilled out their gun barrels on these, by the way.
Good luck. Good luck.
Sazzle, you working on a new survey at all for 2026? Well. What a great segue into my next little bit.
What have you done, chat?
In the fires of Carefree, something is brewing. Chat.
Is that a Mordor reference?
It's whatever you want it to be.
How many more doors do they need?
Mordor. That was a Papa Chicken joke. How many more doors does Mordor need?
How many more doors could Mordor possibly need?
One or
And
two.
why do they have a lack of doors in the first place? Is this a contractor issue?
We need more doors.
Is this a contractor issue?
It's in the name.
Inquiring minds want to know.
They just assumed we had doors.
Papa Chicken says, I'm so proud. I did that for you, buddy.
Lost the hand before the war cleaning a blender. Lost my ears due to the war. Caught some barbed wire.
Yep, I figured.
Stan, thank you for your service.
Caught in a blender. Well, Stan, I'm going to paint you with some new fandangled fingers here.
Okay, what to say? Whoa. Let me get in there. Oh, you're going to paint the fingers, huh?
Yeah.
DiCaprio says Lawnmower Man is a Stephen King short story.
Oh, that's right.
What's it about?
Is
Is it stream appropriate?
Well, I mean, it's kind of a...
Is it a horror thing?
I mean, like all Stephen King, it's like
Lawnmower Man.
It's like a thriller
Oh, okay.
kind of a thing.
Have they made this into a movie?
The dumb lawnmower man and the turning him into the ultimate intelligence as a science project,
Oh, interesting.
and it goes awry, as you can imagine, as do all Stephen King novels.
He becomes the extra Lawnmower Man.
Yes, he now can run two lawnmowers simultaneously.
What if that was the whole story?
He becomes Super Pool Boy somehow.
The movie is very different, says Kilgore. Lawnmower Man. I don't know why that's funny. Oh, man. I guess if you're into lawnmowers, it's a good read. I'm really interested how you're going to do these little fingers here.
I may not be able to.
It looks kind of like a giant thumb.
It has a big club.
It
end
looks
on
like
it,
a
so
big thumb.
We'll see. It needs a molded forefinger, like he's to let him point.
Lawnmower Man. Okay. You gonna cut it?
No, it's not long enough, right? It needs less here and more there.
Yeah.
It's very strange. It's like it literally is like a big, huge blob of I don't know what's going on.
Kind of looks like a. Yeah. I mean, it's something.
It's like he's holding a potato.
Is he holding a potato?
No,
or
there's
is
no
his hand
fingers
a
there. There's
potato?
literally no sculpt there. It is a blob of plastic.
Jason, sculpt them.
No,
Sculpt them in, you.
I won't.
You,
shan't.
You will sing.
I shan't.
He'll dance and he'll sing.
I'm dreaming.
What are you singing at this very moment? Is that a Christmas song?
No.
Mister?
No.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas? Is that
No,
what you were
never
about
heard
to
of
sing?
It. I have never heard of it.
Sweet sassy molassie. If I done been a I don't know, man. I'm just this is wild.
Blew his mind. Chad.
I'm not allowed to sing "O Christmas Tree" or "O Tannenbaum," but you can sing a Christmas song.
So do you know what the difference is between those two statements? How many days of the year do you sing O Tannenbaum?
Not many anymore.
Is it your go-to?
Not anymore.
Not right, because I beat it out of you.
Hey, Avian gave us bits because you sang. I'm allowed to sing, Jason.
Not here, you're not.
Brent says, Jason signs the checks, question mark? Yep, that
I
is
don't.
well, Jen does.
Technically, Ellie does now.
Technically, Ellie does, and that
For
doesn't
some
bode
reason,
well
Jen and
for
I
me.
gave away the check signing power to the financial person.
That doesn't bode well for me.
It doesn't bode well for any of us. Have you met Ellie?
Dreaming of a White Christmas, not Phoenix. No, yeah, Flapjack, correct. We do not have the.
This is the only place you
snow.
dream of a white Christmas. Everywhere else gets one.
Yeah, I guess that's
Everyone else realizes one. Phoenix has to dream about them. See?
Flapjack. I'm so sorry, I can't help you there. He's got a point. I don't know what to do for you, chat.
I'm all logic.
I was just about to go back and kind of figure out questions and all that crap, but now Jason's thrown a curveball for
A
him.
curveball.
If you can even call it a curveball.
It's a ball of curves.
You can curve this ball.
It,
Whoa! Hey, yo! Whoa!
here's where it says he only gets one of those, chat. I only get one of those, chat.
You ready?
Oh my God.
10%.
This is my life.
It's in my contract. 10%, chat.
This is my life. Chat. This is
And speaking of 10%, here we go. Speaking of 10%. Welcome in, everybody. We're so glad you're here. And I mean that, and I'm being genuine. And when I say genuine, I mean genuine. Genuine line. We're really happy you're here. I could not be more happy. Isn't that right, Jason?
I have no idea what's right.
That's Advanced Flesh he's got. Swing, I got it.
I have no idea what's going on with you.
Bam. That's Advanced Flesh Tone for all of you in the back streets.
What?
Not the back streets. I was about to say the back row seats. For those in the back, Advanced Flesh Tone. One of the best colors we make. And by the best colors, they're all the best. So, get painting. That's what I say. You like that bit, Jason? That was just for you. That's because you sang a Christmas song, mister, in February.
I have literally stopped listening to you.
You son of a gun. Singing Christmas, and I had to do physical training not to sing Christmas in front of you. And then you do this on record?
Yep. I own the joint. What happens? Technically, Jill owns the joint, but, whatever.
Lumberjack says, Ari, going back to it, I took a cotton swab and some airbrush cleaner, probably alcohol-based, and wiped the area that was textured. It's smooth again.
Nice.
That'll do it.
That'll do it. Good thinking.
What's your favorite Christmas song, Jason?
I don't have one. Grandma Got Run Over by Reindeer.
That's a good one.
That one work? That one works.
Ark says, what are your 10 paints you could not live without?
Oh, I hate this question.
I've got a short on that one coming up soon.
He does actually. I just watched it last week.
Yeah.
He did an outtake from the last time I got asked this.
Okay.
I hate this question only because, being the guy that makes the lineup of colors, all of these colors are my favorites.
I'll be honest though.
Permacryl is the Jason Cray signature series. Just in general. But there is a reality to the colors that I use all the time.
Yeah.
That are my go-tos for shading and tinting and things like that. Right? And it is obviously dark purple in all its forms.
Yeah.
Payne's gray, yellow ochre. I forget what the other one's. White, blue, pale yellow,
dark yellow, green.
Yeah, dark yellow, green.
And then mahogany. Shadow flesh,
advanced flesh tone.
Rocco says, Chris, I'll have you know, because of you, I've been inspired to paint Zerviathan. Now just need to wait for them to be back in stock. Nice. Rocco.
Hopefully not too long. I spoke to production about that today. We've got
we had a shortage.
We've got to do some work on the casting setup, but they're working on it. So hopefully soonish.
Everybody went out and bought one yesterday, Jason. What happened?
We sold them quick.
They're like,
and the guys are working on. The team is really geared into working on the brush production.
Yeah,
because we've been out of brushes again. So it's like we're hitting from all. Ever since Black Friday, it's like, which fire do you want us to put out first, sir? Because we got lots of products out of stock. Whoa. More than we like.
B Dollar Girls was saying this earlier, Wirehead. Any chance of stuffed dog toys like Zerviathan or Huey for
Oh my
pop-up?
God, how great would that be?
We could do that. That would be awesome.
We could find somebody that would make a Huey stuffed dog toy. It would be really fun.
Yeah.
I'm sure we can.
I'll make it for him by hand. $1.5 million. Most expensive dog toy.
I don't think you can handle the PO we're about to place.
Me?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I need you to be here working, not at home making freaking dog toys. You hear me?
I heard your tone.
You hear this tone?
You guys hear that? You all heard that, right? I'm not like sitting here just making this stuff up.
You heard me, right, Chris? You heard me, all right.
You ever been stern?
Oh, you heard me.
Fen Warren says, looking for recommendation, amp colors or expert acrylics? I have a perfect recommendation.
I was going to say all of them.
All of them.
How did I know?
I have a lot of fun with the expert acrylics. They're very fun.
They're great. If what you're asking is that you can only buy one, then my question back to you is, how do you normally paint?
Oh, good
Do you
question.
do a lot of glazing? Do you do more, traditional layer painting with your acrylics? If you do more glazing or trying to get into more glazing, then the expert acrylics are fantastic for helping you learn and gain comfort with glazing.
I was thinking about that yesterday when you were teaching me. I'm like, oh, this would be great.
They're fantastic. So there's that answer that is one that you should think about. If you do just typical layering, then the amp colors are going to give you a really good color range for doing that.
They're very awesome. Both of them. You can't go wrong. I see what you're doing here, Jason, with the little fingers.
Oh, did you see? Like, I've got knuckles.
Yeah,
I'm forming knuckles.
I want to.
I'm forming knuckles.
There it is. That's actually pretty good.
The idea of knuckles on there.
Yeah.
I've got to then go and do.
Gosh dang! I'm totally gonna show this stream to my dad. I'm like, Dad, you gotta start painting the faces on these guys.
The fingers turn around the corner into the fist.
My mom gives him crap too. He's gotta paint the faces.
Yeah. You can't not paint the faces. Can
Paint
you?
the faces.
I mean, you can do whatever you want, but
more details.
Especially doing 1/35th scale, they just look hokey if you don't paint the face.
Yeah.
Because there's enough size there that doesn't work very well.
What
I'm going to
scale
paint this little weird spot as I'm going to give him knife hand.
Yeah.
That's how we're going to do this. He's going to do knife hand, and this is this Gesundheit G's.
Thank you. Sorry. Okay, so
there's going to be some freehand on here as we go through, and there's the thumb.
Here, I'm going to zoom in one more time. Can you center up?
No, I'm right where I need to be. Thank you.
He'll center up.
Jeez.
He'll center up in a little bit. Let me see that knife hand. There it is.
There's the thumb. Okay. There's the thumb.
That's great. Okay. They're coming for me, chat.
I'll do.
There it is. Knife hands. That's great. We expect knife hands on all of your minis, by the way, for your February challenge. That's great. Knife hands. That's great.
That's the only thing I can think of that would make this make sense, right?
Bestor's like, this is actually impressive. Can we get a Chris sneeze button? Avian, I'm sorry. I typically turn my mic off.
Yeah, I got to turn it around, so I apologize if I get out of frame and have to reframe here.
We refocus. There you go. Chat, we get really zoomed in here.
Sorry, I have to move this to be able to paint where I need to paint. So if it goes off screen, I have to just apologize. I can't center up on it.
Hey, you don't need to apologize. You're a good guy.
I mean, sometimes I'm okay.
You're just okay.
I'm just okay.
You're about 50-50.
I thought that was you.
It is me, yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes I trend 60-40, but on the bad side.
I mean, that's not bad, right?
That's great. I mean, for a Green Army man, heck yeah, brother. One second. It's very hard to focus on those guys. There it is. Look at that. 1 second. Nope, this is it. This is as zoomed in as we get on our Green Army men. Knife hands.
Not bad. We'll still highlight it up more and we'll get more dimension to it, but I'm not dealing with much here, Chad. So
wow. I thought you were 90-10, Chris. No, that's stream, Tadpole Jackson. That is 90% business, 10% silly sass, all right? And don't you quote me.
And don't you quote me.
Jason,
Holy.
it's 4:00.
Never.
But wow. It's been real, chat. What are you gonna do for President's Day, Jason?
Oh, we're not back on Monday.
Someone told me that yesterday. I'm like, what?
Isn't that crazy? We get President's Day off now because we moved to a 4-day work week.
Everybody just got a 4-day weekend
for the rest of the company. So now they get a 4-day weekend. So President's Day became one of the best things ever for these guys. Oh my God, did I line those up? Pretty damn near. How is that even possible? We got very lucky here, chat. I literally lined every single one of those fingers up. That's not possible. Look at that.
Second. Oh, I can zoom in. There it is.
You see that?
Yeah.
Now I don't know what that is.
It's probably a little blurry for you guys.
Maybe it's like a fist. Maybe I do it more like a fist than knife hand. That's probably
fine.
The way to do it.
I mean,
I'll cut it off.
It
and make
reads.
I'll make these knuckles.
It reads, right? There it is. Yeah. The birds are chirping, Jason. You hear all those birds?
No.
The sun will come out tomorrow.
What?
That's great,
hell?
dude.
I said no singing.
Oh, Avian. Hey, I knew bits were coming. Thank you for those bits, Avian. Are you serious about not knowing about President's Day? Are you me, says Avian? I don't know. I just work here.
We just turned it into a company holiday this year. And not just this year, but like 2 weeks ago. Or 3 weeks ago, I think.
It's awesome.
Because we had to. Because on a 4-day work week, there's a couple of holidays we normally gave people that are now on their day off anyway.
Yeah.
So rather than be the company that just says, well, lucky us.
Sucks to suck, noobs.
Sucks to suck, noobs. We gave them extra days off, so. I know. We're slave drivers. We're the worst place to work.
Oh, wow. I don't think so. He's got a gun, chat.
Without a trigger.
He's got a gun. Thinking? This guy, I don't know how he's fighting any war, but we'll give him hope. He's pointing in the right direction. He's got knife hands. Jason, are you going long tonight?
I don't think so.
All right.
You want to go a little bit longer?
No.
You got to go?
I got to go.
You got to go.
I do have to go.
Chris has got to go.
I've got to go change out.
I think it's a good stopping point.
I think you've done a lot right now.
I'm done with the advanced flesh tone, so that's good. So we got,
You've got a lot. You did a lot today. Oops, I mistyped YouTube. He's cool.
Very easy.
Yeah.
Very simple to make him into something pretty cool from a lifeless lump of plastic. It's funny to think that these guys, it.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is. I mean, it's coming to life. Hopefully, everybody has the same.
It's a lot of fun. These guys are a lot of fun because they give you the freedom to do a lot of really cool stuff with every brushstroke, because the palette is literally as flat and lifeless as possible, right? I mean, you look at him.
Yeah.
He's like Johnny Paper.
Oh, Johnny Paper here. He's got a real neck issue going on.
Eat a sandwich, boy.
We'll be continuing with this guy tomorrow.
I was gonna say it looks like he has some junk in the trunk, but that's a pouch. That's his canteen. He doesn't have a trunk.
That's something.
He's literally like a piece of notebook paper. We're trying to give him depth and make him look like, at least from the front, that he's a real human. This is tough.
Ooh.
This is tough to correct right here.
It's Gumby.
But it's fun.
Nice.
It's being fun. We'll do some brown leather. We'll do some non-metallic metal on the grease gun.
You'll put a trigger on there?
No, I'm not sculpting it doesn't even have not only does it not have a trigger, it doesn't have a handguard, it doesn't have anything. It doesn't have a pistol grip. It's supposed to have a pistol grip on there. It doesn't have a pistol grip. It does, however, have the shoulder brace, which is very strange, but it has no pistol grip and no trigger. So this is pacifist Stan, Lieutenant Stan.
Pacifist
he's not Stan anymore because we gave him his hand back.
Yeah, he is
Lieutenant
a
Stan.
Stan.
You got your hands. You got new hands.
Wow. What a journey, Jason.
That fist is the thickest part on his body. Yes, it is. It's like Steve Rogers before the super serum. Yeah, I'm saying he's directing traffic.
Yeah.
Phil.
He doesn't have ears.
Oh wait, that old cat's not Phil. Is it?
That old cat. Yeah, that's Philip.
That's Phil, yeah?
Yeah. That old cat is Phil. He is directing traffic, Philip.
It says it's impressive. It started the day as a flash profuse model, now a PTSD G.I. Joe.
He's something, all right.
He's a sailor. He goes along with the consumer beast. Ah! It's an actual grease gun, yes. You just push the thing that I think is a shoulder plunger or a shoulder stock, right? And you push the stock in, and you really do get grease out. So you just like.
Interesting.
See, you'd have to know what a grease gun is.
I have no idea what a grease gun
actually
is.
work, but these were called grease guns.
But is it supposed to?
They were called grease guns because they look like grease guns. It was just a long cylinder, with a trigger on one end, a firing mechanism, and it held a straight clip, and it was 9mm, I believe. Were they 9mm or 45? I think they were 9mm, right?
Interesting.
It was like the Tommy gun.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Source says, I've got to say, I really like painting.
Nice.
I do too.
Hey.
I do too.
You're in good company.
The Thompson was 45. This was the 9mm. That's correct.
All right, Jason. Well, we're going to pick him up tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
All right.
We should be able to finish him.
Yeah. Jason saying that about a model, that's pretty cool.
We should be able to finish him tomorrow.
Right, Jason?
Yeah. Yeah. Do a diorama base for him. I won't be able to finish that tomorrow, but...
You could.
Well, my whole goal was to do a diorama base for all three.
Oh.
So we'll see if I can get to the point where I feel like...
Maybe you'll do a basing tutorial for us?
Freehand netting on the helmet? Nah, no. I don't think so. I'm just going to treat it like a standard pot. It's like a Russian helmet.
It's something, man. Cool.
It's nation agnostic, these Army men. They come in green, which I think was supposed to be U.S., but I feel like they look more Russian. Except that they have our standard grenades. So
November maybe at some point, but yesterday was my time.
Yeah, I think we'll maybe have him do some gold, so we can switch the colors and maybe do something now that he's got his hand on it. I would like to see him practice more. I decided I wasn't going to go back and work on the model he did because I really want him to keep that as his first attempt.
Yep.
I don't want to change it.
My true first full attempt.
They can't be Russian. Everyone has a gun. Oh, also true. There was only one gun for like every 3 men, maybe 4 men.
Oh, okay.
And the other guys ran behind and picked up the gun of the fallen.
Oh.
Which is true. Which is very strange.
Interesting.
They just had a lot of dudes. Wolfenholm, you want him to do Chrome? That'll be next. We'll start that tomorrow. Chris, mark it down.
I won't be doing Chrome tomorrow.
He says, I won't.
Jason's going to finish a model.
I won't.
It's pretty cool.
I finish models.
Every once in a while.
I mean, I feel like this guy's pretty close.
No,
I still need to highlight the reds with the brush because that's just airbrush, but that's pretty close. Just do the base.
I don't think you need to. I mean, he looks done. You could call that done.
The airbrushing on the cloak looks cool because it makes it look like soft wool or something like that, but it needs a little bit of contrast and some form of highlighting. But yeah, I mean we do. I mean this guy's closer because this guy at least has has basing material on him, but I still got to paint.
No,
his
he's
eyes.
pretty. I mean, here's the thing.
I never finish stuff is the problem because I always look at it and go, oh, you know what I should do? Believe it or not, that's just our special sauce, and yet that looks finished.
Yeah, that little the little jar.
Yeah.
So nice. Special sauce.
All right, you nerds. Listen up, you nerds. This is Lieutenant Stan.
He definitely doesn't talk like that.
And Lieutenant Stan says, go over there. And we're going to raid. And I want you to make sure that in that raid, you show some love in that damn channel. So, yes, Lieutenant Stan. So, thanks, everybody, for hanging out with me. Lieutenant Stan says my gun is full of crayons. Thanks for hanging out, everybody, and watching some paint dry. Hopefully, it gave you some inspiration. You know, these are great models to practice on, and I think they were $5 for 50.
Yeah.
Like, literally, at 10 cents a piece, you can't go wrong. You can afford to mess up on these guys all day long and try some neat new things, right? We're doing some fun stuff with the red oxide underpainting, which you can see gives a really good depth to the green, because with the green, it starts to look more of the brown side of red oxide, which is really cool.
Yeah.
That's how red and green work, turns out. So great stuff. Glad to have you. Thanks for hanging out with us this week.
Yep.
And make sure to hit the follow button, the like, the subscribe, all that good stuff, so you can get alerted for when we go live next time. We do this Monday through Friday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Monument Standard Time here in Phoenix, Arizona. It's crazy, I know, but we do it every day. Every freaking day. We won't do it Monday, though, because we're off. We got to remember. No stream on Monday, but we are here tomorrow.
We are here tomorrow.
So tomorrow I'll be painting more Army men. Chris will be telling more really bad jokes. Maybe he'll play some more of the pickle. Who knows?
No, you kind of gave us enough pickle for a couple months.
I wouldn't say that out loud if my life depended on it. But thank you so much for hanging out with everybody.
Oh, man.
Make sure to check out monumenthobbies.com, monumenthobbies.eu, no matter where you are in the world. You can grab some great hobby stuff from us. That's what she said.
That's right. Enough pickle for a couple months. Am I right, fellas? Hoochie hoo. Too much.
Welcome, everybody.
Welcome, everybody.
And on that note, but thank you so much. Make sure to hit the Discord link that Chris put in chat. You'd really love to join our community. We'd love to have you. Great place to get inspired, hang out, meet new friends. It's a fantastic home. A fantastic home for nerds. So thanks for hanging out with us. Stick around. Chris is going to find us somebody to raid, so make sure to show some love to whoever's streaming with some hobby goodness off into your Thursday night. We'll catch you back here tomorrow. I'm out.